I witnessed a hit and run that killed a pedestrian, and when I gave the license plate to police, they said, "That's the congressman's son. We need you to say you didn't see anything." The officer's face went pale when I finished giving my statement. "You're absolutely sure that was the license plate number?" "Yes, officer," I said. I was 20 feet away. He exchanged a worried look with his partner. The next morning, 2 detectives showed up at my house, plain clothes, badges out. "We need to talk about what you saw last night." I let them in. The victim had been an elderly woman crossing at the crosswalk. The car came out of nowhere, going 60 and a 30, hit her so hard she flew 20 feet. The driver didn't even brake, just kept going. I ran to her, called 911, held her hand while she died. She looked exactly like my grandmother who raised me. Same age, same gentle eyes. I couldn't let it go. The detective sat in my living room. The lead detective cleared his throat. "The license plate you gave us belongs to Congressman Taylor's son, Joseph Taylor." "Okay, so arrest him." The detective shifted in his seat. "It's not that simple. Joseph claimed the car was stolen that night. He filed a police report at 11 p.m. The accident happened at 10:30. Security footage showed him at home during the accident." "Look," the detective said, "this family is extremely powerful. They're suggesting you were mistaken about the plate number." "I wasn't mistaken. I saw it clearly." The detective looked at me like I was naive. "Look, for everyone's sake, just recant your statement. Go back in, say maybe you were too far away, maybe it was dark, you were in shock, saw numbers that weren't there." I stared at him. "Are you asking me to lie?" He stood up. "We're suggesting you think again about what you saw, for your own good." I refused. A week later, my boss called me into his office. "We're letting you go. Budget cuts." I'd worked as a paralegal at a small law firm, 6 years. Just got a raise last month. This wasn't about budget cuts. Days later, my car windshield was smashed in the parking lot. A note under the wiper. "Drop it." My spouse couldn't understand why I wouldn't back down. "She's already dead. You can't bring her back. Why are you risking everything?" "Because she deserves justice." The victim's daughter contacted me. Her voice was shaking over the phone. "Please don't give up. My mother was all I had. She was walking to my house for dinner. I promised I'd testify." The harassment escalated anonymous calls to my phone. "You're making a mistake." My landlord suddenly gave me a 30-day eviction notice. Said the owner was selling the building. My bank account got frozen for suspicious activity. It was resolved days later, but the message was clear. I was losing everything for telling the truth. But I kept thinking about that woman's face. My grandmother's face. Someone had to stand up for her. The court date finally arrived. The congressman's lawyers went after me hard. "Isn't it true you were fired for incompetence? Isn't it true you have financial problems?" I stayed firm every time. I saw Joseph Taylor driving that car. License plate. The defense played their security footage. Joseph at home. Time-stamped during the accident. It seemed like I was going to lose, but I'd spent weeks watching that footage over and over, and I'd noticed something. My lawyer stood up. "Your Honor, can we examine the witness?" He called Joseph to the stand. "Where's your college ring? You wear it in every photo." Joseph touched his bare finger. "I lost it." I leaned forward. "No, you didn't. Your friend Bill was wearing it in a photo from that night." I'd spent weeks going through Joseph's social media and Bill's. Found a photo of Bill at a bar that night, wearing Joseph's distinctive college ring. Bill and Joseph looked similar. Same build, same hair color. My lawyer pressed harder. "Bill borrowed your car and your ring that night, didn't he?" Joseph's face went completely white. The defense called for a recess immediately. During the break, Bill's conscience finally broke. He confessed to everything. He'd been driving Joseph's car, hit the woman, panicked and ran. Joseph helped him cover it up, set up the stolen car story, gave Jake an alibi. Both of them were arrested right there in the courthouse. Bill was charged with vehicular manslaughter. Joseph with obstruction of justice and accessory after the fact. Congressman Taylor announced his resignation that evening.